Hello students, in last class we have started the second chapter, that is biological classification. Okay, I told about scientist also. The first scientist is Carlos Linnaeus. He was the father of taxonomy, and he given the only two systems of classifications. Two kingdoms he have given. One is Plantae, called as plants, and another one is Animalia, called as animals. But later in the year 1969, the scientist called as R.H. Whitaker, he given 5 systems of classifications, 5 kingdoms he have given. What are those? Monera, Protista, Mycota, Plantae and Animalia. That 5 kingdoms R.H. Whitaker has given the scientist. And these 5 systems of kingdoms of classifications, the main criteria giving that kingdoms, because based on the structure of cell wall, cell structure, cell wall, cell structure, their body organization, thallus organization, reproduction mode. Okay, in that way the scientists have given. Okay, there are 5 kingdoms I told you. Under that we can study in today's class the first kingdom. It is the first kingdom, that is Monera. Okay, these Monera are the microscopic organisms. Monera are the prokaryotic organisms. What is meant by prokaryotic organisms? Okay, an organism which does not contain a nucleus, but it contains cell wall, genetic material, everything, but it does not contain a nucleus, lack of nucleus. Lack of a nucleus. That organism is called as a prokaryotic organism. This Monera will come under prokaryotic organisms. This Monera includes these 3 types of bacteria. One is Archaeobacteria, Eubacteria, and another one is Cyanobacteria. We can go with the first one. You have to study one by one. Archaea, Eu and Cyno. Archaea is the first one. Only in this you have to study the characteristics of an organism, where it is going to live. Okay, what is its characters, what is its nature, that one we are going to study. First one is Archaeobacteria. If you see this Archaeobacteria, okay, it is going to live in harsh habitats. See, all bacteria will come under Monera only, kingdom Monera. Under that Archaeobacteria, it will live under harsh condition. What is meant by harsh habitats? Okay, harsh habitats is nothing but it is a very severe condition. Okay, where no organisms can survive, but this Archaeobacterial organisms can survive. See, for example, human beings, if we have high temperature, means we can't survive. We can survive in like modern temperature, okay, below 40 degrees Celsius, like that. But these animals, these bacteria can survive in high temperature, more than high temperature, even where no oxygen levels are present. Okay, like that. In that severe conditions also they are going to survive. That is called as harsh habitats. Next is these Archaeobacteria are called as ancient bacteria. Ancient means, okay, it is the first formed organism on land. That is, so it is called as ancient bacteria. Next is archaeal cell wall. If you see this archaeal cell wall, lack. Okay, they lack a membrane. If you see this is the body of bacteria, means always the cell is made up of some types of chemical. It may be membrane, leucine, like that. But this archaeal cell wall does not contain a murin. Murin will be absent. And this is possesses a special type of glycosylated proteinaceous surface. The surface is covered by glycosylated proteinaceous surface layer or glycon polymers like glutaminyl glycon or pseudomurine, etc. Pseudomurine, false murine. Okay, their body surface is made up of glutaminyl glycon or glycosylated proteinaceous. This surface layer is made up of this chemical component. Next, this archaebacteria, based on living nature, where they are going to live in, they are categorized into four groups of classes. We can see here. First one is halophiles. Okay, the archaebacteria, where they are going to survive in salty habitats. Habitats is nothing but the organism where it is going to survive. Salty habitats. In that condition, halophiles are going to survive. Next is acidophiles. Okay, here acidic habitats. Okay, here archaebacteria which is going to survive in more acidic habitats. Acidic habitats. Next is thermophiles. Here the bacteria, archaebacteria, which is going to survive in high temperature conditions. High temperature habitats, that is called as thermophiles. Next is methanogens. Okay, methanogens are the microorganisms. Okay, methanogens are the microorganisms which will come under archaebacteria. Methanogen. Okay, it's a bacterial name. Methanogens are the microorganisms which contains first I will write down, next I will explain. That produce methanes found in gut of listen. Next is methanogens, very important one. Maybe asked for 1 mark or 2 mark. Methanogens are the microorganisms which will come under archaebacteria. It's an example for archaebacteria. Methanogens. They are going to produce methane. CH4 has a metabolic byproduct in anoxic conditions. See, where very severe conditions where there will be no oxygen levels, in that times Okay, in that time they are going to produce methane. That methane are responsible for these methanogens that are going to survive in anoxic condition. Anoxic condition is a severe conditions where no oxygen levels. At that time they are going to produce methane. At that time the metabolic activity will be continuing in that methanogens. Metabolic means the sum total of rate of chemical reaction which is going to take place in an organism. Next, where these methanogens are found? They are found in marshy areas, nothing but wetlands. Okay, nothing but wet lands, and they are found in gut of ruminant animals. Gut region in the sense, okay, this is called as a gut region. Even animals contain gut regions like cow, buffalo, that animals. In that of ruminant animals. What are ruminant animals? Okay, usually we see the cow and buffalo, they are going to take grass as food. That grass will be digested because they are called as ruminant animals. Ruminant is nothing but a type of digestive system which is present in that particular animals. Like all grass eating animals are called as ruminant animals. Okay, because of ruminant digestive system, what they are going to take the grass, that will be entirely digested because they contain that different ruminant digestive system. That ruminant digestive system have the ability to digest that cellulose which is present in that grass. But if we eat that grass, we can't digest because our human digestive system. But animals contains a ruminant digestive system, especially these examples like buffalo, cows, like that. Okay, where they are found? They are found in gut of ruminant animals. Because of that, if you see that cow and buffaloes, they are going to produce. Okay, they are going to produce biogas. Why they are going to produce methane is nothing but it's a biogas only. Because in their excretive product of cow dung, if you see that cow dung, that contains biogas only. Okay. Because they are the ruminant digestive system, which means that in the cow dung of that animal, which is going to produce methane as biogas. These are the some important characteristics for archaebacteria. And if we see to normal bacteria, these archaebacteria are different in their cell structure and cell wall. Okay, usually bacterial cell wall is made up of murin, but this cell wall is made up of body surface glycosylated proteinaceous. So cell wall, cell structure are different when compared to normal bacteria. Okay, in next class we can go with the eubacteria. Hope you all understood. If you have any doubts, just ask me. Just you can study the textbook. Thank you.